Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. I have been playing Pokemon Shield just about all day, and I am ready to talk about my early impressions on the game. There will be no footage past the first gym, and I do plan on reviewing this game, but as that will take a little bit more time for me to beat the game, I thought this would be a happy middle ground. And thank you so much, guys, for helping us hit 1,500 subs. If you check our community tab, we'll keep you up to date with who won the giveaway for the Steam copy of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. Might take a few days to find that winner, but doesn't hurt for newcomers to be subscribed, as we're almost always doing a giveaway. And if you like the video, throw us a like. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking of Pokemon Sword and Shield. So the first thing I really noticed that I really liked about this game is they cut so much BS. The last Pokemon game I played was Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and before that was Gen 6 X and Y. So I missed Gen 7, but I know some of this stuff fit in. You fish right away. You have a fishing rod by default. Like, you can just fish. There's no like waiting an arbitrary amount of time to get an old rod. Dynamaxing. I remember in X and Y, the Mega Evolutions, that would take a very decent amount of game time before you could actually Mega Evolve a Pokemon. Dynamaxing happens in the first hour, I would say, if you want it to, if you're moving at a good pace. The tutorials are short and sweet, which I heard was a problem with the Alolan games. The wild area is also just awesome. Like, finally we can move the camera, and that's actually kind of, I'll talk about the wild area. And no HMs again. This game just really respects your time. It just cuts a lot of that BS. There's no more, the sharing of XP, the EXP share is now just a built-in mechanic of the game. And the game's built around this. Like, before, when they made it an option, I know people were upset when it was affecting your entire party. But now that it is not an option, they can build the entire game around it not being an option. So I think the balancing is working better. It just respects your time. You're not going to throw your Magikarp out and immediately switch it to another Pokemon just so Magikarp can get half the XP. Just, that's done for you automatically. And that's like the little stuff that's really starting to add up for me. The game itself just feels absolutely alive. There are just Pokemon roaming the world, which I understand happened in the last gen, and in the Let's Go games, but even more so now because the visuals are much better and it's a higher powered machine. There's Pokemon roaming around the world for both the hashtag aesthetic reason and for battling, which this was the #1 thing I wanted in a Pokemon game, was having them roaming around in the grass rather than random encounters, which I know happened in Let's Go, but for a core game, I'm happy that they made this move. It's nice to know that I don't have to fight every single Caterpie and I can avoid some of them, or, again, run away. This is just the game respecting your time more. So all that's really great, and the subtitles are actually great. Also, it takes place in the UK, and they use the nomenclature they use the vernacular of the UK. They'll say, it's over by the telly, for example. It's cute and it's nice. What's interesting is because this is 100% in the UK, like there's no mistake about it, I don't know why this game isn't voiced, because we know where it is, we know what the accent is. Could have just voiced it. It's almost 2020, guys. I think for your console entry into Pokemon, it would be nice to do some voice work. And what's even weirder is when they talk, there's not even like text scrolling, like or like Simlish or any weird noise. It's just silence, and it's a little awkward. The music tracks are really great, but I feel like they could be a bit higher quality, like not necessarily orchestral tracks, but they just feel like they're lacking a little, even though the actual music itself is really good. And that kind of goes with visuals. Visually, it's much better than I thought it was going to be, but it's obviously not perfect. And this is weird, right? This, honestly, to me right now, feels like it's... because this game's been in the making for decades, if you want to think about, like, people anticipating a home console core Pokemon game. There were a lot of expectations tied up with this game, And in some ways, it feels like exactly what the Nintendo Switch is, a hybrid where it's not a full console Pokemon game, but it's also not a full portable Pokemon game. It feels kind of in between. The music is not all the way up to par with like what I would consider AAA console music. There's no voice work. The visuals could obviously be better, but again, much better than what we have seen in the past. So from that perspective, very cool. I love the wild area. The problem with the wild area is it's basically showing what could have been, right? We could have had a full wild area Pokemon game, and we don't get that. And that's a bit of a bummer. And the other thing I do kind of want to talk about is the national dex, right? I looked at, I'm not going to show it, but I looked at the list of Pokemon that made versus didn't make the cut, and it hurt. Like, it was rough. I mean, my personal favorite Pokemon, which again, I won't say what it is, so I don't spoil things, is not in the game. And that's a bummer. And it just takes a little bit out, right? And the other thing that's weird is you don't actually know if you've caught them all. Eventually, you're going to have to look it up, because it's not like, oh, I need to catch Bulbasaur. You don't know if he's in the game. And that's kind of a bummer. But ultimately, I am enjoying the new game, even though I got a little negative towards the end. The game is respecting my time, it's cutting the BS, and the UI is really slick, and the world is slick and clean, and this is like definitely a significant upgrade for Pokemon. But the lack of a national dex, sometimes rougher visuals, and knowing the potential of what could have been is holding this game back from true greatness. We knew, and we know, there could be a full open world Pokemon game where you can rotate the camera for the entire adventure with pretty decent visuals, and every single Pokemon could be in it. We know that that is possible. Like, there have been more ambitious games made in the world, especially on Switch. Look at The Witcher 3 on Switch. Look at Breath of the Wild. I mean, we know that things are possible. We know that you can control the right stick in games. That's not new news. So hopefully Pokemon catches up, but I am enjoying what I've played so far. I guess I'm just anticipating the future already. I am, again, planning on reviewing this, but gotta catch half of them at least, because there's only half the Pokemon from the National Dex. Sorry, that was a bad joke. That is all from me, guys. I will catch you next time.